Hey everybody, it's Jay, and today I'm taking a look at something that's pretty unique, and by that I mean I'm pretty confident to say that it's the only one like it in the world. A few months ago, I got this Mook T Redemption, what they call a Bowie in, and it was very striking at how large it is. It really reminded me of something that like a video game character or video game villain or monster might carry around. So I decided to use KHHI's Make Your Own feature to see how far I could take this video game character villain concept and really just kind of get kind of ridiculous and crazy with it. I've been pretty enamored lately with butcher, cleaver style knives and barber points for knives because it's something a little bit different than a standard drop point. So the first thing that came to my mind when I thought of huge video gamey cleaver was, of course, the Butcher's Cleaver from Diablo 1.
Fresh meat.
Now this is going to get pretty nerdy pretty fast if knife video isn't already, so I'll warn you that ahead of time. This is definitely not going to appeal to everyone, and I totally get why, because it's really meant just to appeal to me. So I designed something inspired by the Butcher's Cleaver from Diablo 1, which is this here, which I think I'm actually going to have some difficulty getting entirely in frame because it is huge in the sheath here. So you can see it there in the sheath. So what I did is I went and looked at the sprite from the original Diablo 1 of the Butcher, and then use that as inspiration for this design. Now, it's not going to be a one-to-one replica. It wasn't really intended to be a one-to-one replica. I just wanted something that kind of mimicked the design of a very large video gamey cleaver. So what I did basically to have this made is KHHI has a custom form. Fill out your specifications, then send in the form along with any reference photos you have. In my case, I made a composite of a few other knife designs that they had done previously, put it all together into something that resembled kind of the end goal of a Butcher's Cleaver alike. And they got back to me less than 24 hours later with a price quote, as well as some tips to make it more practical. And because practicality wasn't a concern, I said, well, I think we'll go with the original design because this is pretty much going to hang on a wall because it's meant to kind of look cool, and that's about it. They said that they were concerned of its big tallness, and that's fair. This is a 17-inch blade from handle to tip. It is finished with their raw finish, and then has a 7.5-inch rosewood handle. This actually is effectively what they use on their Echo the Predator Khukuri sword. It's almost the exact same handle, but without any brass accents, and with this full tang instead of a brass cap. It is full tang. It is made out of the standard steel that they use on all the other Khukuris, which is pretty high carbon steel. At its widest point, it's 5 inches wide, and I gotta say they got the look down pretty close to what I've sketched out and what I imagined in their head. They made a few changes that I actually appreciate. For one, there's a slight outward curve to the blade here, and then the blade curves in slightly here at the point. And I actually think that looks better than the way I had it originally, which was more kind of squared out. My hand's shaking a little bit trying to hold this thing because it does weigh about 7 pounds. So completely and utterly impractical. I knew that coming into it, and I designed it to be that way. But again, I think for what I was going for, they pretty well achieved what I had envisioned for this. So yeah, like I said, not going to appeal to everybody. Totally understand. It's completely ridiculous. It's way over the top, and I love it for that. So if you're interested in having KHHI make something for you, you can reach out to them on their custom form. And I'd be curious to see if you guys have any other custom knife makers or other handmade knife makers that you might recommend for other types of projects like this. Pretty much going forward, I'll probably mostly be doing historical swords and knives and things like that, things that, at least replicas, because that interests me more than fantasy stuff. But you know, there's not really much I can do to historical design to make it my own other than, you know, accents and things like that. So this one's for me. The timing is completely coincidental. Here, as I'm doing this video, they've fairly recently announced Diablo 4, and then a few months before that, there was some controversy with Blizzard, and the timing on this is totally coincidental. I designed this months ago, and it took a little less than 2 months for them, from the time I submitted the design to the time that it arrived to me in the US from Nepal. So pretty fast turnaround. This customer service was great. They were very helpful and communicative, and yeah, I'm very pleased with the results of this just ridiculous thing. It's my my little butcher's cleaver. So anyway, hope you guys liked the video. Please click like if you did. Be sure to subscribe to us to go check out our gun videos and other knife and sword videos. And if you're interested in helping support us, go check out the link to our Patreon page. This is Jay, and I will see you again soon next time.